That young girl was killed because she was white.
We don't actually know that.
Of course we know that.
No. The reality of the situation, you had a severely mentally ill, probably schizophrenic.
I don't care if he's mentally ill. Everybody who stabs somebody is mentally ill. This mentally ill bullshit, I don't know where this has come from, where someone's a criminal, but they're mentally ill. Every single person who commits murder is mentally ill.
He is heard on tape saying, I got the white girl. Okay, that suggests a potential racial motivation.
Potentially.
Yeah, okay, but we don't actually know.
Yes, we do. And here's the final nail in the coffin to your asinine argument, sir. Why did he not stab anyone else on the bus? Because he was already on a bus with 4 people and he didn't touch them. If he can't control his mind, why didn't he stab any of those? Is it because everyone else on the bus was black? The first white person he sees, he kills and says, I got that white girl. And you don't believe that's enough proof for a court of law to determine that was...
Salam alaikum, it's Mama Yasmin Avan, aka Layla Integrity. And this is about Andrew Tate dilemma. Dun 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 dun. CIA asset Andrew dilemma. Andrew dilemma is supposedly biracial. His father is 75% black, 25% Caucasian. And supposedly the 75% black is already is mulatto of the light-skinned black people who were back then during the segregation were some kind of privilege, and they have easier way of accessing things. Nothing changed in America in a lot of ways. But anyway, my point is Andrew Tate connection to CIA is undeniable. Okay? He himself, he denied, but he said his father was involved in covert operations, whatever that is. Covert operations means intelligence psyop operation by the U.S. government. So his father was a feds. Okay? Andrew Tate on the camera called on race war. What does that tell you? That's all I need to know. It tells me when they want to divide people, he called black people criminals and violent. Okay? On camera, he called black people violent and criminal with a very, very exuding sort of energetically, passionately showing his rejection of this crime. What happened to that lady, it's a shameful thing. I am not in condolence of that. But he blamed the entire black race. And whenever we see this, it's a red flag for me. It reminds me of my own case against the U.S. government, the intelligence agency, the way they dehumanize me. As a queer Muslim black person, when they microchip me, they had to set me up and make me look like a villain, somebody who is a deviant, sexually deviant, because that's the first thing that they go to anytime a black person or the LGBT member, they want to smear them, okay? Because the first thing that they use are the churches, especially black churches in my case, and the mosque, because I'm Muslim, okay? But anyway, let's get back to Andrew Tate, because I know the patterns, how the CIA and the intelligence agency, the mind control, and that's what exactly his father was part of. A mind control, narrative control works because he emphasized in a very graphic way, with anger and rage, the way he expressing himself. And as somebody who's spiritual, I can see the bullshit through him. He is an actor. That's what he is. Okay? His father was the feds, CIA agent, supposedly a black man, raised by a white woman who was a Ronald Reagan, tough on crime, advisor. She was advisor for Ronald Reagan, who was known to be overtly racist. He hated the black people, and he wanted to put every black person behind bars, especially men, and destroy the black community, and made a lot of black babies fatherless. And this is what the CIA did to black people. From South Central LA all the way to Harlem, they put crack cocaine in their neighborhoods to completely ravish and destroy black people. So Andrew Tate would be the last person to give a credit to speak on as a black person. He's not black. He's not black. He is pushing buttons to use the triggers because they program people and they know the buttons to push to trigger emotions. So he's pushing buttons to trigger young white men to be abroad, okay? And they also know how to push the black people's button. This is CIA in capital letters coming from me as somebody who's a seer, somebody who had visions, God gifted talents. I had this since I was a child. The reason I was microchipped was not only because of my involvement in politics and advocating for my own community, passing legislation that freed and liberated trans people and queer people not to be discriminated at workplaces in the state of Nevada. And I became a spokesperson for Stonewall Democrats. So I was involved in politics. Not only that, because they know my psychic ability and my ability of as a seer. I can see their bullshit. I can see their all orchestrated chaos agents and how they deliberately trigger these buttons after they program people. So whenever you see these kind of things, just know there are underlines operation that's already happening. They're wreaking havoc. People are being killed covertly. There is a kill list. He's not that different from Obama, who also had a mother who was a CIA agent. By the way, Obama has nothing to do with black, okay? I am as a Somali closer to Obama than the black Americans. So don't get all armed up and, carrying your emotions. Obama was a mulatto biracial, raised by a white CIA mother who is part of this cabal, this oligarchy guard shields of the CIA. The oppressors, in other words, he was an oppressor. He's a MKULTRA mind control CIA agent himself. And all of them are. Alex Jones' father was a Feds, part of the COINTELPRO, the J. Edgar Hoover COINTELPRO, same as what's the other guy? Alex Jones, what is the other guy? Remind me. The guy who now talks about Israel. The guy, what is this young gentleman? Anyway, I forgot his name. But don't fall for this bullshit, okay? Tucker Carlson, that's his name. It slipped out of my mind. Yeah, Tucker Carlson's father was also Feds. All these guys are part of the MKUltra mind control operations. These are chaos agents. As somebody who's have such a huge, follower platform on the social media, and that itself should tell you he has been somehow the algorithm has been manipulated by CIA because the CIA controls the tech giants. CIA directly is connected to the operation that is torturing me daily and exploiting me in Seattle, Washington, because they are always the tech giant, eugenics, Zionist war machine that always target the talents, the brightest of all kind of black people. They target people who have a psychic ability. They target people who have a unusual immune system, which I do, okay? They target, but my point is Andrew Tate, undeniably, it's an CIA asset, okay? And they go by generation. These are, like I told you before, these are the oligarchy guard shields. These are the beneficiaries. These have no races. They are not in a position to speak on racism or any race-related situation because they have not experienced it. They all have privileges, including the black ones, because they have connections. They are well-connected, well-funded, and they are set for life to have money. because these guys, I'm talking about the CIA, prints US dollars like a papers, because that's what how the US dollars is. It's since the US Petro US, they've been printing the US dollar like a paper. So they have unlimited resources. They can make any company and they will never get in trouble. How come he got in trouble and get arrested on the height of his fame? Emotionally, all these things, CIA are masters emotion triggers. So they want to make you believe something. They want to control your mind. They want to control your perception. And they would put a clown like this. By the way, the word even clown, it's a CIA word.